My name is Steve Corcoran. I work at Noble Capital as an asset manager, and I played 27 years of rugby in Australia and in Europe, and then I've been coaching rugby at St Edward's University for the past 5 years. Yeah, rugby's been a passion of mine since a young kid. I've traveled the world, been lucky enough to travel the world playing the sport. Along goes with that, it's a collision sport, it's a high contact sport, so it suffered unfortunately a number of concussions while playing, which at first didn't have too much impact on me, and then as maybe got a bit older, started seeing a bit more symptoms from what had happened. Growing up in Australia and playing overseas, there's not as much, back in those days, emphasis on concussion and concussion protocols and safety measures like we have in the game today. Back then it was a bit more, you got knocked out and you sort of kept playing, and that was seen as a sign of toughness. Now, if a player takes any sort of concussion or head knock, we check them immediately and more often than not take them off the field. I took 9 concussions, and a bit different to the American football style ones. They weren't as many minor concussions, but more major. So the concussions I took were a bit more, ranging from my bell's been rung and I'm a bit dizzy and stumbling a little bit for 30 seconds or so until I get my equilibrium, to flat out unconscious, on the field. The more severe one was I took in a game and finally when I came to, I sort of, been taken to hospital and then taken home, and the next morning I woke up thinking it was Saturday when it was actually Sunday morning, and I was preparing for the game because I'd been knocked out so badly I'd literally missed a whole day and couldn't remember even playing in the game. So that was obviously a pretty tough one, and we took sort of 6 to 8 weeks off, I think, after that concussion, but that was sort of the more severe instance that I had. Some of the complications I've had since then, certainly my ability to concentrate I found was becoming less as I got older, and that was very concerning to me, particularly in my profession, working for an investment firm. That became very concerning to me. My short-term memory I noticed as well, not so much my long-term, but the short-term things of, I could send someone a text message and literally 30 seconds later I'd be sat there thinking, did I actually send that text? I can't remember. And I know for some people that's a fairly normal thing in their lives and they'll joke about it, but it never was for me leading up to that, because I had a very good memory. So that sort of was something that was fairly concerning to me, and I wanted to seek out some treatment to try and help that. Sleeping was definitely an issue for me. I've suffered with insomnia since about 2007. Until then I was fantastic at sleeping. I could nearly sleep standing up. And then about 2007 I noticed I started having troubles falling asleep. By about 2010 I was fairly much operating off 4 hours a night, every night. And even just about 2 years ago, or 18 months ago, it was a real struggle. It'd be nothing for me to operate for 3 days off 6 hours sleep accumulatively over 3 days. So I had a lot of problems with sleep. Either can't fall asleep, or when I do, I wake up very quickly and can't get back to sleep. So that's been another probably severe impact on my life.